Hi, it's Tim Harness here. I recently travelled to Tenerife, which is a Spanish island off the coast of Africa. In the centre of the island is Mount Teide, a magnificent volcano that rises to 3,718 metres high and is the highest mountain in all of Spain. The beautiful peak of Mount Teide is visible from Puerto de la Cruz on the north coast on a clear day, but it is often obscured by clouds. To get to Teide from Puerto de la Cruz, you have to drive up the exceedingly windy TF21 road, which goes through the picturesque old town of La Orotava into the heart of the island. The drive is either exciting or scary, depending on how much you enjoy ziggy-zaggy mountain roads. I've also taken the journey by bus, which is much easier and less stressful, allowing you to enjoy the view across the Orotava Valley and down to the sea. The drive from the coast up to Teide in the centre of the island takes about an hour. On the way up, you go through a number of different ecological zones as the air gradually cools. Near the coast, the climate is tropical, and there are large plantations of bananas, oranges, lemons and grapes. Where the land is not cultivated, the beautiful canary palm trees grow. Further up the mountain it gets colder, and there are potatoes, chestnuts and more temperate vegetables. They just love their spuds in Tenerife, where they call them papas, and serve them up with red and green sauces. The agricultural zones transition into laurisilva forest at between 500 and 1,000 metres, which has laurel trees with thick glossy leaves and heather trees with trunks over 30 centimetres thick. Further up the mountain, between 800 and 2,000 metres, the laurisilva transitions into dense forests of canary pine. Above 2,000 metres, the landscape starts to look more like a desert, with native plants adapted to live in the harsh, dry environment. This is at El Puerto, where there is a really good visitors centre and a botanic garden of local plants. El Puerto is also the start of Las Cañadas, an amazing landscape quite unlike anywhere I've ever seen before. It really does look like the surface of Mars, which is why it's popular for science fiction TV and movies such as Dune and Foundation. You really could expect to see Matt Damon staggering across the desert as if he was on Mars. I took some photos in the park of a sign which explains how Las Cañadas and Mount Teide were formed. In the distant past there was a huge volcano which has now disappeared completely. About 170,000 years ago, volcanic activity caused a massive landslide and collapse of the original volcanic cone to create Las Cañadas. Subsequently, the peak of Teide has grown through eruptions of the volcano to make the peak that's there now. The last major eruption was in 1706, which destroyed the harbour of Garachico on the north coast of Tenerife. The walls of Las Cañadas look like a distant ridge of mountains, and often the cloud layer flows over the top like dry ice over the top of a beaker of warm water. It is possible to hike up the cone of Teide, but it's much easier to take the cable car, which starts at 2,356 metres and takes 8 minutes to travel up to 3,555 metres. The views from the top are sublime. In the distance I could see the island of La Palma standing up above the clouds. Here you can see Las Cañadas and the base of the old collapsed volcano, with more recent lava flows showing darkly in contrast to the ash. From the cable car station you can walk to other lookout points. As you can see, the path is very rough, so that's why this video is rather shaky. Visible in the distance is the Teide Observatory, a collection of 19 solar, nocturnal and radio telescopes at 2,390 metres high. In the base of the caldera is a hotel and restaurant, close to the rugged Roques de Garcia. The journey down on the cable car is quite spectacular. I was lucky to get a seat near the front of the cabin and got some great footage. A short drive takes you to the Roques de Garcia for great views of the ancient volcanic plugs, the peak of Teide and the collapsed base of the ancient volcano. On my way home on the bus, I saw a film location crew making yet another sci-fi epic in the fantastic landscape of Mount Teide.